my name is Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. I'm so glad you're here. This is my husband, Brendan.
Hi, I'm Brendan O'Neill from Sew the Distance as well.
All right, we've had an eventful time setting up. So again, last week we did too. All right, here we go. So this is the question and answer episode, and this is our third question and answer. So the first one I did by myself, the second one I did with you, and you're back by popular demand.
Everybody wanted me, so here I am.
Here you go. Okay, so we're going to dig right in, right?
Digging right in. Oh, here's a good one. The question will be whether or not you answer it honestly. Are you a tidy or chaos crafter? Do you wind up with pieces and parts all over when you stop for the day? Or are all your scraps and threads in your trash receptacle?
I am the neatest, cleanest, most pristine crafter in the whole wide world. Lies. I am a hot mess. Everything's everywhere. It is like something exploded, and I can be in here for 10 minutes and the whole place could be clean when I started, and it's a disaster by the end. And usually I don't clean up I should, but I don't clean up at the end of my session. I usually take some time at some point and decide that I've had enough of my baloney.
Sometimes she comes out of the room and I can tell what she was cutting, and there's just a trail all the way up the steps.
Especially if I have slippers on, you'll see like the threads in the fabric, yeah.
How do you keep your energy without overwhelming yourself with so many ideas? Do you have a list of projects that you want to start or cut?
No, not really. I mean, I have some ideas, but I have ideas swirling all the time, and I'm a little chaotic with that. As far as energy, I usually crash and get crabby, right?
Right.
So, I mean, my energy is not high all the time, but I think because I was a teacher, I know how to keep the energy high when I'm on camera or in front of anybody teaching. And I kind of turn it on, and then you can kind of crash later. But you get used to putting on basically a performance 5 times a day when you're a high school teacher, 5 days a week. That's basically what you're doing because you got to keep them engaged. So I think it's just in me now.
Okay, I like this one too. Do you have a place for us to post pictures of our completed projects?
So as of right now, I do not. I've thought about doing a group on Facebook, which would be the easiest way to do it. I've thought about doing memberships. I've thought about doing different things. I, right now, am having trouble just staying afloat, keeping up. It's just me doing it all. So I struggle. Right now, nothing is in place, and I wish there were. I hope to come up with a solution in the future, and that might entail hiring somebody or something, or a company or something, because I'm drowning.
Right. But another part of that is if people just want to share pictures for you to include in your newsletter or just share with you,
Yep.
They can email you, right?
Yes. So, yes, you can email me at info@sewthedistance.com. I get a lot of emails every day, so it sometimes takes me a little bit to get back to people, but I will see it. And if it's a project that is made by one of my videos, I do try to include those into the newsletter as well, the monthly newsletter. Not the Christmas and July specific newsletter, but the monthly one. Having trouble keeping up with everything, so I'm trying to find that balance.
Are you going to do the Missouri Star Advent box again this year?
I am going to do the unboxing that I did the last, 4 years now? I think 4 years. Every day in December. However, this may be my last year. I'm sorry. But I will do it this year because I have told people I would do it. I have it ordered, but this might be it.
I love the Q&A. Brendan is sweet. Thank you.
You are.
If you do another, I have a question. How do you baste your quilts? I've seen a YouTuber who uses Elmer's glue. Have you ever tried it? Thank you for the series. I do not baste my quilts.
No, you don't. I wonder if you could. We should do a video on that, of you basting a quilt. I personally love pin basting. Right here are my pins. I love this thing, which is, what's this called? A quick clip. It's awesome. It's the best, and I have the curved pins, and that's how I do it. I've used spray basting. I don't love it. It's sticky. I don't like that. And then as far as Elmer's glue, I've heard about people doing that. I haven't tried it. I do use glue on my binding, which you probably have seen on my videos. But So I'm not anti-glue. It's just I've never done it.
Here's one that we've seen a few of. What kind of Janome do you have, and do you like it?
It's the Janome 6700P. I absolutely love it. Had it, what, 6 or 7 years? 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't let me down. Between that and my Juki, I'm in business.
That's been a good machine. You haven't had any issues with it.
Never had an issue with it that I didn't cause. I caused an issue once,
That's
but
right,
other than
once.
that, yeah.
Do you have a good Christmas stocking pattern? I found a fantastic Chanel bedspread at a flea market. I thought of using it to make stockings for everyone. The soft fuzzy spread for the outside and a pretty Christmas fabric for the lining. I haven't found a pattern yet and wondered if you have a good one.
So I don't, but I did talk, I think in the thrifting Christmas video, with that you can use just a regular stocking to get a pattern. Also, Erica, I don't know how to say her last name, Arnett, I don't know. I'll put a link and I'll put her name up here. I love her too. She's a great YouTuber. She has a wonderful free pattern that you can download that I've used too, but I don't have one.
No, you did repurpose some quilt a couple
Yes.
years ago for your dad.
Yep, I did that. And I think that's the pattern I used was from her. And then I also made the stocking with the Thrifty Notion box. I have a video on that too.
Here's another good one. Is there a best way to square blocks to help keep my points? I consistently lose my points and I'm thinking it's in the way I'm squaring the blocks.
So that's a great question. And the thing is, I stopped squaring my blocks. I used to, well, when I first started sewing, I didn't do it at all. I didn't even know you had to or could do it. And then I stopped doing it because I just ease it in when I sew the blocks together. And what I love to use if I'm having problems is this precision glue. This stuff's awesome. You can just mark your points with the little dab of glue. It heat sets and you're good to go. The reason I stopped is because I make a lot of scrappy quilts and sometimes things get a little off. So when I started trimming them, I did lose my points too. So I just don't. I just make sure if my seam allowance is a little, or the fabric is hanging over the seam allowance a little, I just go with it and make sure that I adjust for it and use this glue. I think it's a double-edged sword when you square up blocks because you can have things off. Fabric moves, it's cotton and it stretches. So you can get a little bit of an error that way. If your 1/4 inch isn't perfect, that can cause some problems. So I found with squaring them up, it just made the problem much worse. That's just my opinion though. I know there's other people that don't feel that way.
Is there a way to repair chips in my cutting mat? They're so expensive and such an important investment in quilting supplies. I got nicks on the same line from cutting a bunch of strips. I'm willing to bite the bullet if I have to.
All right, so what did I do? I thought I brought one over. Did I bring one over? I did. Okay, cutting mats, they don't last forever, okay? And this is an old one of mine that Brendan cut down on table saw, whatever. And you can tell this one is in rough shape. It has a lot of ridges on it. I use the other side. That's one tip. As far as repairing it, there's no way to repair it. These aren't going to last forever. You're going to have to replace them probably well, it depends on how much you sew, but 5 years or so. I like the Alpha ones. I have a Fiskars one I do not like. But the thing is with the mats, so they don't chip, you need to water them. So you need to spray these with water. Anything, if it's a self-healing mat at least, that's I think all I've owned. I don't think I've ever owned any other one, so I can't speak to that. But for self-healing, you do need to spritz them with water every now and then. They have to stay moist-ish, not wet. So they do get crackly and stuff. Unfortunately, it's cost of doing business type of thing. You got to replace them. And if you have ridges, it's probably dulling your blades and it just becomes a lot of problems. So the first thing, flip it over to the back. It's probably nice. And then maybe invest.
So when you buy the mat, you buy both sides?
You buy both sides, just like fabric. You buy both sides of the mat. And that's just, unfortunately you do have to replace them. And personally, I like the Alpha ones.
Do you track your quilts in any way? Finished, UFOs, any ideas are all welcome.
Okay, I have a couple books here. Well, I have the cards, I showed that last week, right?
Yes.
The card system. But I also, once they're done, I do love planners. I love any type of planner. But this was my favorite. I had this a few years ago. They don't make it anymore, unfortunately. But I would even, here, this pillow's hanging around here somewhere. I would even cut out, print things on sticker paper. I'd write all about it. So I do have a journal type thing. Also, these videos are kind of like a journal. I have my blog, which is like a journal. And then this was another one I got a few years ago. I didn't like it as much. But I do try to keep a journal for the projects that I make. I don't know if anybody will ever look at them. I don't know. My kids probably not, right? But I do like to look back on some things. And can I talk about this real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, so I didn't put that on the list. So I did it, you guys. You helped me. I used spray starch. I really soaked it, made it nice and stiff. I got it together. The only problem is the spray starch made the red bleed.
Oh, no.
I know. I'll put a picture here. But it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Thank you so much for all your suggestions.
So I have a couple of questions regarding your vintage and antique quilts. I've collected so many over the years. How do you store them, and do you routinely take them out and refold them? And there's a part two. Do you have any advice for preserving them?
So how do I store them, Brendan?
All over.
Everywhere. They're in every corner of this house. They're in the bags downstairs. We have a finished basement, don't worry, so it's climate control down there. But yeah, they're in those. I have them everywhere. I have them shoved under beds and on ladders. You love them when they're
On
under
beds,
the,
on ladders, on furniture.
Sure, in shelves. You love them when they kind of poke out from underneath the bed.
Yeah,
trip over them. He loves it. It's just wonderful. Do I refold them? I have about 200 in my collection. I do not. I probably should, but I don't. I mean, I do get them out. I do swap out ladders for the holidays and for the seasons. So I guess that's a time. Advice for caring for them. Use them. Quilts were meant to be used. I get cringe when I think about people putting them in the closets and putting them in, here I'm saying that I have some in closets, but I do try to rotate them out. If you use your quilts, use them. They were meant to be used. Fabric only has a 100-year lifespan. It starts to break down. Love them.
Okay, general Christmas in July questions. Will you be doing this again next year?
I have no idea.
As of today?
Right now? No. I'm not sure yet. I think I need to decompress and kind of look at it when I'm not in the middle of it. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, as of today, I can't even think about it because I'm so swamped.
You mentioned the videos won't be up forever. When are you going to take them down?
Probably be the end of August. I definitely will be taking them down. However, they are a summer special. You might see some of the projects coming back in the fall. I have a few videos planned where some of these projects are going to show up again. At least that's the plan. You never know. Integrated with other videos, but this is a special thing. And by the way, I did pause all comments on any video other than the day before, I think. Just because, I'm drowning with comments and I'm trying to get back to everybody. So that's what I did. Sorry.
So the current day and one prior.
Prior is what I'm trying to keep open. Yeah,
right.
For commenting.
So where do you find all the funny ending pictures? I love them all. And I'll toss in there the globe pictures as well.
Nobody's commented on our globe pictures. We spent a lot of time on those like 2 months ago, right? So the globe pictures and the ending, I use Canva, which a lot of creators use Canva for all of the graphics. And I just have fun with it. And there's probably only, 10 people who have noticed the ending pictures. I don't think people watch that long. The people that do watch and see it, I thank you. I have fun with it. I giggle every time I come up with one. So it's been a lot of fun. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out.
So any hints for what you're doing in August?
I think she meant, am I going to be doing an event, a month-long event in August? Yeah, I think I cropped that question. No, I'm not.
I'm going to answer that.
No. He's like,
I need my wife back.
This is all I do is eat, sleep. And I started early on this. You would think I would have been better prepared, and I am just, yeah. So August, I'm going to get back to my regular schedule where I try to at least once a week, but I'm probably going to take the first week of August and do a lot of sleeping and probably cleaning a little and stuff. Actually, it'll be harvest season, so I'll be freezing and
you're going to be on puppy duty, too.
And puppy duty with Daisy's surgery. Daisy's surgery is happening when this airs at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, she will be in surgery, so we'd appreciate prayers for us and for her, of course.
So a couple questions about the wristlets. Where do you buy the clasp?
I bought them in bulk years ago, and I still have a ton left, but they do have them on Amazon, depending what size you want. There are a lot of other resources. I think Sally Tomato, I think, is another one that's really good if you want to hire, I think, to know the quality, you're going to get good quality.
Somebody loved your pin cushion. Do you have a video tutorial for the pin cushion?
I think they're talking about this. I have a bunch of pin cushions, but they're talking about this one. No, I don't. I got this at a Quilt Guild quilt show maybe 20 years ago. It was one of those crafty corner type things. It's prairie points. There's a piece of cardboard on here. It is very old.
Well, you may not have a tutorial for this one, but you certainly have tutorials on pin cushions.
I do. It was one of my first tutorials, right?
Yes.
Was it my first? Here we go. For these, I used an antique quilt block. I made a bunch of these. And yeah, I do have a video on that somewhere out in YouTube universe.
Okay, Saturday's video, Quilting Fails. I would like to see how you made the backing on your quilts you showed. I always have a difficult decision when I don't have quite enough to do the entire back. It looked like you pieced one with different fabrics.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did grab them. I did with this one. You can see here whatever left over I had. I pieced them. I find this to be a pain in the neck. I know other people love it. I don't do this anymore. So I think it's hard to keep everything straight. It's a really wonderful way to use up whatever pieces or blocks that you have. I know Karen Brown, again, does an after quilt, all of that. I find it to be a pain in the neck. So I usually either piece my backing or I buy the extra wide backs. That's what this is. I gotta cover that. I just showed our address, I think. So I use the extra wide backing. It's 108, I think, wide. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's wide backing. I love this because I don't have to deal with piecing anything. So if I do piece it, just yardage, I use the chart that's in this book. I'll put it up here so you can see, and I'll put a link to it below.
This is a good question too. You mentioned you purchased digitally printed fabric. If you're buying this as a kit, but I think even if you're just buying fabric in general, how do you know if it's digital?
Hopefully online they tell you. It's getting harder and harder. Most panels are digitally printed now. Whoops. I think I showed in the video, this is the fabric. The back is white, so you can tell. Unfortunately, it's what's happening, and I wish there was a way.
So does that mean this one's digitally printed?
No, because you can see the red. This is like a scrap that you can see the red through it, so it's woven through it. Same thing with this. You can see the print on the back through it. I mean, that's the best way I know how to tell. It may not be the right way, I'm not sure, but it's becoming harder and harder. It's becoming more popular to have digitally printed fabric.
So if it's digitally printed, it's typically white, and if it's...
Yeah, it's a white, and it's almost like a feel to it, which, I don't know, it feels almost polyester, which I know it's not, but it's a weird feel. Yeah, hopefully I'll have to look into that. Maybe that's something I need to really dive into.
Do you have the chicken or cowboy quilt patterns?
Cowboy quilt pattern comes from a magazine. I don't know which one. It would be 20 plus years ago. The other one, I don't think so. It was a block swap on the internet, I believe. And we, I think, just had to have a chicken block. So they would probably be from all over the place. I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Have you made a sweatshirt side bow without using an embroidery hoop?
Okay, so I had to look up what a sweatshirt side bow is because I had no idea, and they're so stinking cute. I've never made one. I will put a link to the videos I watched on it. You can use, it looks like the satin stitch, and cut away that way, but it would have to be a really tight satin stitch. And the videos that I watched when preparing for this they used an interfacing too underneath, and it was like a cutaway stabilizer. So that's what I would suggest. They're really cute. I might have to make one. They're really cute. Yeah.
So potential upcoming August.
Maybe, I don't know. They're really cute. Very popular. I couldn't believe it when I searched it. It was all over the place, and I'd never seen it.
Here we have about 10 questions about me. Do we want to rattle
Dive
them
in.
off?
Yeah.
Okay, so just off the top of my head, I have some questions for Tuesday. I'm a relatively new subscriber of your channel, so your longer time subscribers may already know these answers. And since your husband will be a special guest, my questions are focused on him. That is such a great idea. How did you meet your husband?
Well, that
You
sounds
want
like
me
a
to
question.
read all of them?
No, well, we can answer that. How did
Okay.
we meet? We met in high school. I was young, 14. You were 16. Just true romance. We were on again, off again, on again, off again until we finally got married.
What does he like best about you being a quilter? What do I like best about you being a quilter?
It's all the threads all over the house.
All the threads. No, seriously, it's great. The art that she creates, the quilts, some of them are so beautiful. I'm amazed. I think about some of the fall quilts. There's that kind of orange and brown and tan one. It is so gorgeous. So that's what I like, is seeing what she's able to create, some of her own patterns as well.
Oh, thank you.
How has starting a quilting channel changed your marriage, both the pluses and minuses?
Has it changed our marriage? A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, initially, I will say when we were first getting into it, or when you were first getting into it, just all of the technical problems and
Tears.
so many
Cried a lot.
videos that were lost. You'd create them, audio problems. So there was just a lot of trial and error with that. The setup, if you don't have things that are meant to be kept up, she would spend an hour or two just getting ready, and then you're wiped out and
Sweating.
Sweating.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be one thing, but that's not necessarily, the marriage itself. But I don't know. I think you having a career has been a positive, and I know you left teaching as part of COVID, and this gives you an avenue for teaching. So
Yeah.
that's a positive.
It is. It's keeping busy is important for my mental health.
Is he involved in filming, camera setup, production, editing, downloading, posting, etc. on YouTube? I think this is a plant. Did you? This person.
Just answer the question.
I change the batteries
Every morning.
every morning. That is probably the extent. Chris does 99.9% of the task.
Yeah, I mean, he helps with tech stuff, but we usually fight over it because it's like, I'm like, can you just fix this? And he's like, well, wait a minute. We got to go through every single step. I'm like, I know what's wrong. Just fix it because you're a computer guru.
Right.
But, it's been good. He, the technology stuff, you always research technology.
That's true too. Right, so if she does run into some type of technical glitch with the software editing, I'll open up support cases, I'll do the research on YouTube, watch videos,
Yeah, that's a lot.
Reddit, try to solve the problem.
Yeah, you do great at that because then he'll come down with the solution. He's like, okay, we're going to try this. And I'm like, I can't. I'm in the middle of editing. And he's like, no, we're going to try this right now. I'm like, all right. So yeah, no, you do all that stuff, which is very helpful because I don't have the time. You also reach out to people for affiliates.
I do.
And stuff. So he does a lot of that background stuff. When he retired, he was supposed to do more, but he hasn't. I put him up with responding to comments, and you lasted half an hour. And you're like, I can't, because you do. It's taxing. Right. Not that I don't mind. I love the comments. Don't get me wrong. I do, and we read them all. I read them all. I just can't possibly. I want to respond to every single one, and I can't, and that's frustrating to me.
Does he ever have suggestions for topics to cover?
All the time. All the time. How often do I take those topics?
Sometimes.
Sometimes he'll say, you should do this. And I'm like, eh. So much when we pick topics has to do with what we want. We want it to be seen and we want it to be brought into the community, well received. So when I first started doing it, it was like anything I wanted to do, I would do. But now it really is driven by what's trending. What do people want to see? So you do a lot of research with that. And then you couple that with things you like to do. So it's a little bit different of a dynamic than I think people will realize.
I like this question. Does he ever go fabric shopping with you or make requests? I remember one particular time we just had to go get blue. Who knew it would be so hard to go find a piece of blue fabric?
He's like, it can't be that hard. It's going to take us 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I need this specific
blue with stars.
Blue with stars. And I'm like, I forget even what that was for. I'm like, I need this specific, like this color blue. And he's like, all right. So we went to a huge fabric store. He's like, I can't believe they don't have this blue. I'm like, right? It's not as easy. So then we ended up at another one, then another one. And yeah, never did get it, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Do you allow him to come into your quilt studio when you're not home?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sweep.
He sweeps every day.
Yeah, when she's not home, I'll sweep.
Even when I am home, I'll be recording, I'll be sewing, and he's like in with the broom. So he's he's a neat freak. I am not.
So let's see. Has he ever shown you a picture of a quilt and asked you to make it?
I don't think you have. I don't even think I've ever made him a quilt. I made you a coaster.
You have.
I made him. I don't think I made you a quilt. He's not really a quilt type of person, and we have so many with the antique quilts too. So.
If you were writing to a girlfriend you knew back then in high school or college about the man you were recently engaged to, how would you describe what he looked like?
Oh, handsome, smart, because you were really into computers then, back when it wasn't popular to be into computers.
Yeah, but someone said, who did I look like?
Oh, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, that's right.
And then Mom sent me a pic. When I said that, I said, somebody said he looks like Russell Crowe. And then Mom sent me a picture. And I'm like, well, he kind of does. But he doesn't look like a young Russell Crowe. Like,
not the one you had in your mind. Right.
But he's still handsome. Very handsome.
What is he dying to tell your subscribers and viewers about you or your channel that no one seems to ask about? I don't know. You're pretty open.
Yeah.
This is you.
This is me.
Question for next week. Okay, this is another set of questions. Your children, I think you have two. Can you talk about your children? Where do they live? Are they married? Do you have grandchildren?
So we have two children. One is 34 and he lives near us. He's a very private guy. Yeah, he works in the area. He has a girlfriend. No grandkids that we know of. Either of our boys. No grandkids. He is dating a woman, but it's kind of new, right? 6 months.
Yeah.
And she has two kids. But as of right now, no grandkids on that end. And then Mitchell, who you've seen in some of my videos, I'll put links below to some of those too. And he's not shy, camera shy, and likes to come on camera with me. We have a few videos out there in the world that we've made together. He's coming in 2 weeks. Can't wait to see him. He lives in Vermont. He is in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend, Katie. And yeah, we love her and we love him. Well, we love both the boys. Of course, we love everybody. And yeah, who knows? So yeah, I'm sure you'll see. I'm sure there'll be an August video with Mitchell.
So someone asked, are they woodworkers like their dad? So woodworking's just a hobby. Just want to clarify that. My career, which I recently retired from, was doing IT work, computer work. I was a director in healthcare. Let's see. Thank you, Brendan. Would the cost to make the ruler rack table be equal to the cost of a quilt? Not even close.
No.
Yeah, Chris posted something on Facebook a while back, and there's a video out there of the cost of a quilt. That is eye-opening. If you haven't seen it, you should repost that if you
Yeah, I'll try to find the link. Yeah, no, it is. And I think anybody watching this knows how expensive this hobby is. It is eye-opening. But yeah, ruler rack, depending on the type of wood, right, would cost you what? Like, say a pine one would be like less than $10, right?
Yeah, 10, 20 bucks.
I mean, other than your time.
Right. But tools, right? You do need lots
true.
of different tools to be able to make that, whether it's cutting the slots in it, routing it, cutting it to length. So 3 or 4 different tools.
That adds to the cost, and then your time, and
Right.
if it's, it just depends.
So, that was the end of our questions.
I feel like I missed
Come to the
something.
end.
Wasn't there something about grain? Did we talk about grain? Straight up grain on fabric? All right.
I do remember reading those questions.
Did you miss something? Okay. I don't know. Maybe I deleted it off or something. All right. So I'll talk quickly about grain again. I know somebody had asked about how to get it straight and to make sure it's on straight grain. So I'm going to show you. This is a piece of fabric that I have that has like pieces cut out of it. So it was a perfect example. To know if something is on grain, it used to be they'd rip your fabric, even at I think Joann's. So they'd snip it and then they'd rip it. And you know this is a straight edge. It needs to be pressed, but you know it's a straight edge. That's your grain. Followed it down. So I thought I'd show it on a digital print.
Ooh.
And why it's...
Have you done that?
I haven't, but I know people who've talked about this. So, all right, so I'm going to do it. All right, let's see what happens. First of all, it doesn't want to rip. And I know this isn't going to be straight. At least I'll be surprised if it is. Oh, it's not bad, but it is not as easily... Yeah. Oh, look at it. Look at what it did. I don't know. I'll take a picture and put that in here. It totally shredded it.
Two-sided.
It's weird. But it pulled. Look, it pulled.
Yeah, it did. It pulled out.
Pulled out the threads. Yeah. I'm disgusted with the digital printed. I am.
So could you tell us more about the disposal of the clothes? So in the video, The Thrifty Christmas, you showed a picture of pallets and pallets of clothing. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, so I went to a auction at a thrift shop that they have every year, and I saw that, and then I asked about it, and they did say it was going to the landfill. And I know I've gotten lots of comments about saying, oh, well, they send them to recycling and they send them overseas, and I just encourage you to do a little bit of research with it. I'm trying to think of the name of the woman, Sully Upcycles, Recycles. I forget her name. I'll put it here. She's done a deep dive onto this. Sometimes they do go to other countries, absolutely, but then they're trying to dispose of all of this waste too. And then you get into the garment industry and the waste there. It's just insane if you really get into it. It's sickening, just astounding to me to see that. And that was one small, very small thrift shop having that amount. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? We got to do our part. And I buy fabric, and then I feel guilty. No guilt in quilting. But yeah, if I could, and I've thought about having a second channel of just thrifting items and doing sewing projects, but I can't keep up with this one, so maybe someday.
Any final words?
I don't think so. Thank you all for submitting questions. I was so nervous when I started this that we wouldn't have enough questions for 4 of these, but I'm starting to feel like we will, and it's been great. I know everybody's saying to take these off. That's going to be Brendan's job. I'm going to put him to work untying these. So I think I am. We'll see. Yeah. Coming to the end, though.
So the next one is the 29th, so let us know what you want to hear on the 29th.
Yeah.
Let Chris know if it should be alive. Put that out there.
I don't want to. He wants to do lives.
You can edit that out.
That's all right. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you take some time to sew, and I will see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.
It's day, 21? What's today?
Today's the 20th.
So 21 tomorrow.
22.
Fiddle. Okay.
You okay?
Okay. All right, here we go. Another bloopers reel. All right, it's the 22nd.
22nd.